What is up, everybody? Eric with Chlorine King here. Thanks for tuning in for another video. The topic of this video is going to be a product review for the new Inkbird remote pool thermometer, where you can actually connect this to your Wi-Fi and see what body of water you're monitoring anywhere in the world. Full disclosure, they did provide this unit to me. They reached out to me and sent it to me, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to give you my unbiased opinion. So let's go ahead and dive into this product. All right, so here's what you get when you get the Inkbird pool thermometer. You get a very nice box that packages these two items very well and protected. You get your indoor controller, which we'll go over more about that here shortly, of course with the charger as well. And then of course the well-built solar-powered pool thermometer, which we'll again go over some things with that here in a bit. So just want to show you what you guys get when you order from Inkbird and get that thermometer. All right, now that we showed you what's in the box, let's go ahead and talk about some general specs, some pros and cons, on my opinion anyways, of the product. So the very first thing is it's solar powered, so in theory it should never not work, because the sun's going to charge it each day. And it states that it can last 30 days on a single charge, which I can verify as truth because I've had my unit for about 3.5 weeks now. In my cold plunge, that's covered, completely protected from the sun, not exposed whatsoever, and I'm still running on the original charge that I got when I received the product, and I haven't charged it, which it wasn't full then. So I think 30 days might be on the lower end of what you can get out of a single charge, but as long as the sun's hitting it every day, you should never really have any issues with power loss with this thermometer, which is pretty cool. It's also IP68 rated, which means it's pretty much waterproof for its intended purposes. It's floating on the surface, so it's not having any not going to have any seepage in the LCD screen or the solar screen panel that's on it or anything like that, which is a great thing. What's cool is the indoor panel and the actual thermometer has about a 980-foot transmission range. So for 99.9% of you guys, unless you have a mega mansion, you're not going to have any connectivity issues as far as the thermometer losing connection with the indoor panel. And another cool thing about the indoor panel, it can cover up to 3 different thermometers at the same time. So you can set up 3 different profiles, which is really cool. So you could have one for a cold plunge, one for the pool, and one for the hot tub. And it could be all controlled from one device and be seen from that indoor panel. Now, speaking of the indoor panel, what's cool is once you get it connected to the app, you can actually see the current weather for your area. It will have the minimum and maximum temperature for the device for either 24 hours or just overall, like since you've owned it. Obviously gives you the temperature of the what the thermometer is picking up, which we'll go over all that when I show you it in the app. The app's very intuitive and very simple to set up. The display on that indoor panel shows also your time of day, which is a great thing. And it has a customizable water temperature comfort level within the range of 78 degrees to 86 degrees Fahrenheit. So those are sort of some of the product details on this thing. It really packs in a lot of features for a thermometer, which sounds so simple, but it's actually really cool. I've learned to really appreciate having this thing in my cold plunge so I can check to see what my temperature is. As I'm coming home, I could see, hey, do I need to turn my chiller on to get the cold plunge colder or whatnot. It's just nice to have. Now, where does it apply in the pool world? So one valuable thing that I found, which I'll show you here in a few, I shot the thermometer with my Milwaukee laser temp gun, and I found that it was, the session I did it in, it was 0.3 of a degree off, which is extremely solid. And what I found is my chiller temperature was reading 2.5 to 3 degrees warmer at any given time than this thermometer here. So what I was able to do, since I verified it with the Milwaukee temp gun, I was able to actually make my adjustments on the chiller in order to get the actual temperature I wanted versus what the chiller was displaying. So where that applies in the pool world is you can verify that your automation temperatures are set up properly and reading correctly, your heater temperatures or your salt system temperature, anything that takes a temperature reading from the water, you can actually use this to verify is it actually the right temperature or does it need to be recalibrated? Because For instance, you know, I'm sure pool professionals know that chlorine starts burning off at 85 degrees. Well, if you're setting your heater to 84 degrees, but what's actually coming out, which will be verified with this, is 89 degrees, well, you're gonna have a hard time keeping chlorine in your pool and keeping your pool clear. So that's where I see something really valuable like this. So remotely, you know, if you see that this temperature is getting too high, you can turn whatever heating source you have down to make sure you're not burning off the chlorine. So that's definitely a pro. Another pro I see is it's very well made, it's very heavy and very well built. It's also very simple to use, which is all great things for how busy we are. We just want something that hooks up to the app instantly, which this does, and just rock and rolls. And this thing's been very solid since I've owned it. I haven't had any connectivity issues or any signal drops or anything like that. It's actually been really solid. Really, the only con I could think of, and it's a con with an asterisk, and the reason I say that is because, yes, this is pretty expensive for just a thermometer, but the technology and the quality and all the features this thing actually gives you, I don't think it's a lot of money for the actual product itself. Now, compared to just a standard, you know, mercury thermometer, yes, it's expensive. You can find these 50, 60 bucks, I believe, for the product. And I think for what you get and the ability to monitor it through Wi-Fi anywhere in the world once you get the device hooked to your Wi-Fi is sort of priceless, in my opinion, for if you're wanting your water temperature to be a specific temperature. Why not get something that's super accurate and put that in the body of water to monitor it? So those are the pros and cons. Would I recommend this product? Absolutely, and I'm not saying that in a biased way. I think if you're really looking for a rock solid thermometer that is app controlled and super simple to use and intuitive, you can't really beat this. In fact, I took out my old mercury thermometer in my cold plunge because A, it's very hard to read, and what you'll see is there's a nice little display right here that will give the temperature, and it's real easy to read. I don't know if you guys can see that. So it's real simple to read without having to try to see where the line's at in certain hash marks of the thermometer. So overall, I'm extremely happy with this product, and I would recommend this for you guys wanting a secondary source of temperature reading for any body of water you want, and super happy with it. So there's the pros and cons section of the Inkbird remote pool thermometer. All right, so when you're in the app for the first time, you will need to connect the indoor controller. So what you do is you go in the top right-hand corner, hit that plus sign. It's going to search for the device once it's in Bluetooth mode. Get that all connected, and then connect your Wi-Fi, and then boom, now you have it down here on your device like you see on my screen. But before we get to that, let's look in the top left. You see the weather. You just click on that, and it'll give you a 7-day forecast. You can see it's 83 degrees where I'm at right now, and we are expecting some rain. And then, of course, on the right, to the right of that, you have the sunset and sunrise time, which is another nice feature that this app provides you. And then once you click on device, this is going to pull up your indoor panel. And you can see in the very top is your indoor panel, which is customizable because I named it to cold plunge. It gives you the inside temperature of the house right by the door. It gives you the humidity, the dew point, and also vapor deficit, which is essentially how much water is in the air compared to what it can hold, which is that number in the bottom right where it has the KPA. And then also below that you have the thermometer, which again I named cold plunge. So let's click into the upper indoor control panel. You can see again the temperature, the dew point, the humidity, and the VPD. And then you can actually see charts of how it's performed over time. And you can select the duration of time, you know, between 1 hour, 1 day, 1 week, 1 month. You can see the consistency of how we set up our AC system inside, and then back out of that, and now you can click on the thermometer itself and have those same features. You can have the temperature right there, and again you can go 1 day, 1 week, 1 month. Now again, what's really cool with this, where you see that spike there and the temperature, is when I actually cleaned out my cold plunge and replaced it with fresh water. It'd be very applicable for the same thing for a standalone spa. So you can actually see where you maintain the spa as well built into this temperature chart, which is really nice. And then of course at the very top you have the actual temperature the thermometer is reading. So this app's very simple and very intuitive to use. And again, if you had 3 thermometers, it'd be deviceless. You have 2 other devices underneath that cold plunge thermometer I have, and you can see, again, I haven't charged this thing for 3.5 weeks and I still have half the battery life of this thing. So the battery life of this thing is incredible, and it has not seen any sun whatsoever. So again, this app's very intuitive, very easy to use, and provides a lot of information for being a thermometer at the end of the day, you know. And you can't control any devices at the end of the day, but if you know that your heater is 89 degrees, but this is saying it's 95, for instance, you know, make your adjustments on the heater based on what this temperature is reading, so that way you're getting a true temperature and you're not, like I said before, burning off chlorine and you're completely unaware of it. So having this thermometer has been a great thing, and I very much enjoy it, and I do recommend it. Alright guys, so I'm here. This panel is actually right inside of the door that goes out to the cold plunge, so I can check as I'm walking out what the temperature is if I didn't have my phone on me. So what you can see here is you can see the current weather, the UV index, the current time of day, the temperature of the body of water you're monitoring, and then of course the temperature, the humidity, and then of course either lifetime or 24-hour temperature readings there. So you can see the differentiating thing for 24 hours or over the course of the entire life of the device. And then of course you can switch between Celsius and Fahrenheit with the click of a button. So this panel is super easy to use once you get it connected to the app and Wi-Fi. It's a real awesome feature to have. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and do is shoot the bottom of the probe with the Milwaukee gun. You can see we get 43.5 degrees. This is saying 42.4 degrees, so it's within a degree, just a touch over a degree of accuracy. So again, this thermometer is very accurate and will help you calibrate things that are way off to let you know what the temperature actually is. So there you have it, guys. Again, I hope you guys enjoy this review of this Inkbird remote pool thermometer. I very much enjoy this product, and I'm very happy they sent this to me. But give it a shot for yourself and see what you think. I think you can't go wrong if you're looking for a really solid, app-controlled, Wi-Fi enabled, solar charge remote thermometer. So I hope you guys like this video. Stay tuned for more. I got a lot more coming. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next video. Have a great day.